Welcome to the deep dive. So if you've always thought reality is built on, solid stuff particles, matter, prepare to maybe rethink that a little. Today we're exploring some ancient frameworks where existence is defined by something else entirely.
Yeah, it's defined by continuous harmonic vibration. It's almost like thinking about the universe as, well, as music, not just physics.
Exactly, not physics as we usually frame it.
Right. The core idea running through these traditions is that existence hangs on this primal, coherent frequency coming from a divine source. The most basic law, they argue, isn't gravity or electromagnetism. It's the law of vibration.
Everything is trying to resonate.
Yeah.
To match that central signal.
Precisely. It's all attempting to sync up perfectly with that organizing frequency.
Okay, so let's unpack this model a bit. It sounds like emanation theory, right? Where things flow out from the source.
That's the one. Radiating outwards, kind of like sound waves spreading out.
And that's key because it means the further you get from that perfect center,
the more the signal degrades. You get noise, interference. It's a spiritual kind of attenuation showing up in the material world.
Okay, so how do these traditions describe this source itself? You mentioned frequency.
Well, they often blend a few concepts. Take Brahman from Hinduism. Think of it as this ultimate silence, pure, unchanging consciousness, the still point.
The foundation.
Yes, the absolute stillness from which all organized motion, all vibration has to begin.
Wait, hang on. If Brahman is static, unchanging, how does it produce a continuous vibration? Doesn't that seem like a contradiction?
Yeah, that's the tricky part they address. It's quite elegant, actually. You have the logos, that's the word, or reason. Think of it as the divine intelligence, the rational blueprint for the music.
Like the sheet music.
Kind of, yeah. It holds the perfect score, but then you need the instrument, the power. That's shab or not a transcendental sound.
Okay.
That's the actual vibratory power, the eternal chord, if you will, that plays the blueprint. It constantly sings the universe into being.
So the source isn't just static potential, it's the potential in the active expression.
Exactly. It's the maximally coherent, uncollapsed universal potential. The whole orchestra, before a single note is perceived separately. Some might call that fullness the pleroma.
Right, the pleroma. But if the source is this perfect coherent frequency, why is our world so messy? So full of flaws, disorders, suffering? Where does the static come from?
Well, that shifts us towards the Gnostic view. They talked about a primordial error. Something went wrong during that outward flow, the emanation.
An error? How?
It led to the material cosmos being created not directly by the true source, but by the demiurge, an entity they saw as, well, ignorant, not necessarily evil, but limited.
Like a copy made on a faulty machine.
That's a great analogy. The demiurge created an imitation of the divine realm, inherently flawed because it wasn't the real deal. The structure itself was compromised from the start.
Wow. So the universe itself has a built-in structural flaw.
Yeah.
And that macro-level problem, does it connect down to us? To the individual.
Absolutely. Think of the human being as a microcosmic resonator. We're supposed to resonate with the source too.
Okay.
But our big internal flaw, the way we generate noise, is through things like self-deception. To lie to yourself effectively, you have to kind of split your mind, right? Create internal dissonance.
You become incoherent internally.
Exactly. You're not vibrating harmoniously within yourself. And that internal noise isn't just a personal problem.
It has wider implications.
Definitely. All this collective metaphysical noise, this static, it actually threatens the stability of the whole system, the macrocosm. Non-resonant states out of tune, they lose coherence. It's like decoherence in physics, but on a metaphysical level.
So if too many parts of the system become incoherent,
the whole thing risks breaking down. A systemic collapse, a reduction back towards less complexity, maybe even chaos. The music stops.
Which means you, listening right now, you're actually the vital part of this. As a microcosmic resonator, your own internal coherence, or lack of it, matters. It suggests that things like spiritual practices, meditation, mindfulness, they aren't just about feeling better.
No, they could be seen as technologies for maintaining systemic stability, ways to tune yourself back into the main signal.
It's fascinating how this connects to some modern scientific observations too.
It really is. Like the fact that human brainwaves, especially alpha waves, can synchronize with the Schumann resonance, the background electromagnetic hum of the Earth's atmosphere.
So our consciousness might actually be electromagnetically linked, tuned into a larger cosmic vibration.
It certainly suggests that possibility. And practices aimed at cultivating things like Shi or prana, You could view them as ancient technologies of recoherence, methods to consciously realign with that fundamental cosmic energy.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you to consider, building on all of this. There's a modern theory called general resonance theory, or GRT. It basically suggests consciousness isn't just something brains produce, but might be foundational to the universe.
Right. So if you combine that with these ancient ideas, if the logos, or Shabd, acts as the prime resonance operator, the ultimate source of vibration, and if reality itself emerges through resonance locking systems, stabilizing by vibrating together in phase,
Then the stability of our reality, the whole phenomenal universe we experience, it isn't necessarily guaranteed.
it becomes a contingent reality. Its continued existence might actually depend on the integrity of conscious resonance, including ours.
So perhaps the takeaway is keep your mind clear, keep the resonance strong, keep the song alive.